What is social emotional learning? SEL. SEL skills transform everything we do in education, from group work in the early years to working in a class as adults. SEL, social emotional learning, across the sectors around the world, social emotional learning is and should be used systematically to create a better, more understanding, more empathetic place to live. Being able to collaborate with others is key to academic and social success. CASEL, collaborative for academic, social, and emotional learning. And here are the 5 interrelated sets of cognitive, affective, and behavioral competencies that can be transformative. This wheel shows in the center self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, responsible decision making are at the core of CASEL. What do we want children to become, to know, and to be able to do by the time they graduate from high schools? And how can schools, families, and communities work together to ensure that all children graduate to be college, career, and life ready? These are quotes that come from people in the business of social emotional learning, not just in elementary, middle, or high school, but also in different sectors, business, military, that take the idea of social emotional learning and put it beyond just education in the school years, but beyond, in also around the world, into global learning. And family is very important for relationship skills and keeps children secure. Also, if someone gets these SEL skills, studies show that the kids in these studies getting the extra SEL skills as controlled to control groups are much less likely to cause problems within their school. The first of the 5 parts of CASEL is self-awareness. Self-awareness is so important because what it does is it gives the kids an idea of who they are and how to control their own emotions, thoughts, and values so that they could focus more on what they want to do with their work, what they like, they understand themselves better. And of specific mention here is Carol Dweck in her book Mindset, The New Psychology of Success, Growth, Mindset. Self-awareness and how it looks in my room. If you walked into my room, you may hear me working with kids with open-ended questions, so that they don't feel shut out. I'm not looking for right or wrong. I'm looking that they're processing it. They feel comfortable and safe enough to want to even answer the questions. We're looking at the process. Are they learning how to process what they're hearing, what they're reading? When they're working in groups, are they processing it? And it's not necessarily what's right and wrong, but it's the process. And setting expectations early on so they know the boundaries are there and where they can move around and wiggle within those boundaries. In the Pear Deck slides, they actually come with how you feel today at the start of the classes. And I was starting to use those daily and in each of the assignments I'd be giving them, just to get an idea of how they felt about the assignment. And there's another choice board here on how you feel. And these are just some ideas for working with self-awareness in the classroom. The key to fostering SEL is collaboration among the following key stakeholders: teachers, parents, support professionals, and school principals. And what they find in studies, teachers do make some of the biggest impact on how kids are comfortable with their social and emotional skills. Again, global learning has been stuck in manufacturing for so long. It's driving schools to get kids to memorize things when actually we're not looking at factory workers anymore. We're looking at innovation. And so when I saw this quote, I thought, this is perfect. Second skill within the CASEL program is self-management. Self-management is so important. The abilities to manage one's emotions, thoughts, and behaviors effectively in different situations to achieve goals and aspirations. And the different ways that I incorporate it, I've used the Zen room, and the kids will use that to go in there and relax. And they could click on the different parts. They could go into a draw slide and draw, or they could meditate. Yeah, so this is one way if they are feeling a little upset for some reason and they need to reset. This is available to them as a choice board within their assignments. And then another way we use self-management is within lessons. I have project-based learning. And so I have an example here of a project that is using this method online. The kids are using self-management as well as in person when we're doing a question and then a list of things that they need to figure out to get the project done, articulate the assignment piece by piece. But to get there, to get to that self-management, they need help in getting their minds into that flow. Daniel Pink's book called Drive, he speaks about flow. And when a teacher is in the classroom with their kids, she's actually looking for that flow to get the mind in a part of thinking where they're able to focus in on doing this project-based learning and using the Zen room to calm their minds down. So sometimes they need that to get that flow. So when I read Daniel Pink's book on flow, I felt like it works really, really well with self-management in the CASEL. The connection between SEL and better learning is rooted in a safe and caring environment for the child. Environment needs to be safe. They need to feel heard, and they have a voice in the classroom, and they work together collaboratively. The third component is social awareness. What is social emotional learning? Other people, and to empathize with the people that are around you, and especially from different backgrounds and cultures. The way I show that in my classroom is through being kind to others and modeling the behavior and showing that's what's acceptable is being kind, and letting my kids feel safe enough to know when to ask for help. And some of the activities that do show the social awareness is in choice boards and gamification. When the kids are able to get into one of the choice boards, make a good choice and know that they're going to share this with the class and feel safe enough to do that. They are understanding each other's perspectives and respecting them. So here's a couple examples of some choice boards. We have a vocabulary choice board, and they could do different activities in there to express themselves in different ways, social ways, through videos, creating slides and sketches. And then they also have a choice board to where the class works together and works through a game to get the concepts that are being taught in all the core subjects, including math, including science, English, but they're having fun together, and doing it very socially. Studies have shown kids that have a systematic implementation with SEL learning have a 9% point drop in problem behaviors and a 9-point increase in pro-social behaviors, meaning they can manage their emotions and conflicts appropriately. Overall, an 11% point gain in reading and math standardization test scores. The importance of bringing the 5 components of CASEL into the daily work is very important. The 4th competency at the center of the CASEL wheel is responsible decision making. The ability to make caring and constructive choices about personal behavior and social interactions across diverse situations. One way that this responsible decision making is incorporated in my room is through the use of positive behavioral interventions and supports, PBIS, and other activities in class that require responsible decision making and practice using it are project-based learning assignments, choice boards, and cooperative learning groups. In global learning, Andrea Amador, Assistant Director of Behavioral Health Services in Boston Public Schools, says this: in addition to social emotional learning for behavioral skills, we also employ positive behavioral interventions and supports, PBIS. My classroom incorporates this, and this is the site for it. And these are a few choice boards used where, again, decision-making, responsible decision-making is put into the hands of the kids so they can autonomously make good decisions. Global learning. According to Matt Signeri, Director of Social Enterprise Initiative, Harvard Business School, this type of 21st century leadership requires self-awareness, authenticity, empathy, and the ability to self-manage emotions, especially in conflict situations, during crisis, and when under pressure, and to effectively navigate settings with diverse individuals and groups. 5th, my class, it might look like cooperative learning groups where everyone in the group has a responsibility to get the job done, and they have each other to keep themselves in check. Another thing you may see while I'm working with my kids is physical education in settings of teams to play games that will take the group to work together to be successful, thus creating relationship skills. California Department of Education, California's Social and Emotional Learning Guide principles are: number 1, adopt the whole child development as a goal of education. Number 2, commit to equity. 3, build capacity. 4, partner with families and communities. And 5, learn and improve. According to Dan Kranzler, founder of Kurlan Charitable Foundation, when we add an understanding of their emotions, how to identify, regulate, and express them, the result is they feel the world is interconnected and worth living in. Academic, social, and emotional learning, and safe, engaging, inclusive environment, equitable, culturally responsive education, SEL skills, which transform everything we do in education.